And welcome back to another episode of Underdog Podcast. Did some more house hunting yesterday. Came away with not jack shit. Well, trying to be patient and do all the right things and just be ready to hop on that right opportunity when it presents itself. And sometimes this all it is. You just gotta be patient because it's all gonna work out the way in which you want it to work out, whether you realize it or not. Right? It's always gonna do that. So today's topic: what's in our food? We have no idea. Like the next time you go to the grocery store, look at the ingredients on the box and see all the names that you cannot pronunciate. All the chemical scientific names that's in your food. Take something simple as like bread. Look at all the different ingredients that goes inside bread. Pop Tarts. Look at all the different things that go inside it. Cereal, cornflakes, frosted flakes. Things that you would suspect not to have a lot of ingredients, but yet there's a shitload of ingredients in it. And it's like, why? Why are there so many chemicals in our food? Why are there so many different ingredients in the food that sometimes don't even have anything to do with the food itself other than to make it look a certain way? So food is business. And I understand capitalism. I'm not knocking capitalism. I think capitalism is good. But at the same time, it's also on the consumer to understand the products in which they choose to purchase. Yes, you, the regular person, is a consumer, supposedly. But the thing is, when it comes to capitalism and free markets, well, if you allow the companies, the corporations to dictate what goes inside these products, then there you go. They're consuming you rather. When we, the so-called consumer, we, the purchaser of these products, really should pay attention to what we're buying and pay attention to the ingredients that are in our food, because we can dictate the markets with our own money, because these companies do not exist without us buying their products. It's agonizing because it's literally that simple. It's literally that simple. And it's very disturbing to see what's in our food and how it affects us, yet we rarely talk about it. So in today's episode, we're going to look at some banned foods that are banned in other countries outside the United States in particular. We're going to look at the kind of definitions of organic and natural. Take a look at some GMOs and also talk about how it kind of some of these foods that we can ingest and take to help boost our immune system, because contrary to mainstream media, you don't necessarily need to get a vaccine in order to boost your immune system. You could probably just, eat some food, pay attention to your diet and nutrition, and exercise. But that tends to not fit into the mainstream narrative for whatever reason. I guess probably because these billionaires got to make their billions of dollars somehow. What better way than pushing vaccines, right? Let's go right into it. So this video is from The Things. I just realized this thing is called The Things. All right, cool. And so the title of the video is 10 normal foods that are banned in other countries. This came out on November 29, 2017. I really thought it would have millions. How do you have 5.48 million subscribers, but this video only has 454,000 views? I feel like it should have more. I feel like it should be at least a million. People don't want to pay attention to what they eat because, well, it tastes good. It tastes good. Trust me, as I've been going more towards organic stuff, shit does not always taste good, man. I bought some cream soda, and my daughter, when her friends stayed over and stuff, they was like, "Oh, this is nasty." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not that good, but you try." of trying. Yeah, I think the plant is not sativa. I forget, some type of plant that gives a sweetness to it instead of that artificial high fructose corn syrup. Whew. You know what? I don't even think I set up a web page. We should probably dig into that. Then again, that might be its own separate episode because high fructose corn syrup just, I mean, it sounds disgusting when you think about it. Like pay attention to words. Like, that, it doesn't sound like something you should ingest into your body. Let's go ahead and check this video out. And fuck a copyright. Who cares?
We all know Kinder Eggs are banned from the US as they're a choking hazard. But do you know that Americans consume plenty of products you'd never be able to
Kinder
get
Eggs are a
in the
choking
US
hazard?
because they include illegal and hazardous chemicals? Just wait until you see what kind of harmful products are actually FDA approved. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button to never miss another video.
Yep,
and don't forget to give us a big thumbs up. Let's explore 10 foods banned in other countries. Artificial dyes.
Artificial dyes.
The FDA has a weird relationship with artificial dyes that helps slightly less attractive food look more appealing to eat.
See, right there off the bat. Less attractive food look more appealing to eat. So when you focus on eating, guess what you should be focusing on? Eating. Nutritional value, what it does for your body. I tell my kids all the time, like, eat the food that we have, that I cook, not because it looks good, not because it tastes good, but because, well, God damn it, you need it to survive. Plain and simple. You're eating food out of necessity. Literal necessity. Fuck the rest of that shit. It doesn't matter if it tastes good. This is something I had to tell myself repeatedly. Who cares about how it tastes? And this coming from a guy, when I was a kid, I hated eating vegetables. Actually, I didn't really start eating vegetables until I was like in my mid-20s, to be honest with you. I mean, my mom would cook food and stuff, wherever. And oh, man, I remember sitting at the table for like hours on end trying to eat my food, and just not because I didn't like it. So I would sit there at the table for like 3 hours. No lie. It's not even an exaggeration. I would sit there for like 3 hours just because my parents were like, you're not getting up from this table until you eat this food. So I just sit there. And I just sit there. and then eventually at some point in time, I would just eat the food. And I was like, I don't like the way it tastes. And it's like, my dad would yell at me, like, you know how many people starving around the world? People starving in this own city that we live in. And you don't want to eat this food, you need to survive. It's the same rhetoric I pass on to my kids because it's facts. Like, it's facts of life. It's a harsh reality. You in the first world country, you in America, you worry about how the food looks and how it tastes, but really you're supposed to eat the food to survive. Outside of that, it's irrelevant. Like, it's irrelevant. It doesn't fucking matter. You eat to survive. End of story.
Has been reported that these dyes cause hyperactivity and are associated with allergy and cancer risks. The FDA still approves this food
allergy
in the
and
US.
cancer.
But did you know the EU doesn't share the same sentiments? Companies like M&M have to remove food dye from their candy if they want to sell it in the European countries. And it's not just candy. Food dyes like Yellow 5 and Yellow 6, both of which are known to produce bright yellow colors, have been removed from Kraft's orange macaroni and cheese dinner. So while the US still uses these food dyes in their food, they have to be removed and replaced with natural dyes when imported to Europe. These dyes can be found in anything from bright candy, breakfast cereals, to gelatin desserts and other colorful drinks. But why is the EU banning a product that's still commonly used in the US? The actual consumption of food dyes has increased by 500% in the past 50 years and brought plenty of health-related consequences. The studies of these dyes came back to have shown links to types of cancers and behavioral problems in children. Similar bans have also been considered in the US, but as of 2017, all measures have been rejected and food dye is still
behavioral problems to children. I like how they kind of touched on that. ADHD, ADD, right? And cancer all of a sudden is more prevalent in society, in modern society, than throughout modern recorded history. And I guess it's just a coincidence, right? Because the food that we ingest. Whatever.
Used. Salmon. More importantly, farm-raised salmon. Salmon is often associated with healthy food as it's high in omega-3 fatty acid, which comes with plenty of health benefits and is an essential element that supports well-being. You've probably heard that salmon also includes elements that are also known to decrease levels of depression and increase neurological functions in babies. But unless you catch the salmon yourself or know exactly where it came from, you might be consuming a food type that's
You're basically
actually
screwed.
illegal. Farm-raised salmon is banned in Australia and New Zealand, and for a good reason. Farm-raised animals, including salmon, are fed a completely different diet than salmon you might find in the wild. These fish are pumped with antibiotics and other unnatural substances that raise its calories and remove the natural and healthy elements you would otherwise get in wild salmon. They have exponentially high levels of POPs, also known as persistent organic pollutants, which are toxic chemicals that negatively affect a person's
This is what you're
health
eating,
and
bro.
even the environment. POPs have also been associated with increasing risk of stroke in women.
Every time you go to
Australia
Red
and
Lobster.
New Zealand did enforce this ban, you can pretty much get farm-raised salmon everywhere else. Scotland, for instance, has reported a huge environmental problem with farm-raised salmon that are kept in a cage and are subject to sea lice. These lice only negatively contribute to the overall health of the salmon, and the problem seems to be only getting worse. GMO foods. GMO, an acronym for genetically
These are my biggest issue right here, GMO. And when I talk about shopping organic, so that my main thing is GMO, because I don't know about you, but genetically modified organisms in my food doesn't sound like really the best idea or the most natural way to go about ingesting food and put it into your body. Just kind of makes me feel a little odd. Just makes me feel a little bit like, wait, what? Is this something we should be eating? I don't know.
Foods have had a long history of health hazards and other questionable effects that might make a negative impact on human health. In 2015, more than half of Europe banned GMO foods, also known as genetically modified foods. This means GMO is not available in 28 European countries, including Germany and France. Environmental groups have previously already highlighted the negative effects of genetically modified foods, which include increased food allergies, toxicity, and even decreased nutritional value. Genetically modified foods are mainly used in agriculture, and they're there to preserve the crops in case of bad weather or any other circumstances that would result in bad produce. In order to keep the food growing at the same rate and always with the same results, farmers grow their fruits and vegetables with additives. High-risk GMO foods can include fruits, any type of animal products, and many vegetables.
So they're worried about food going and bad and spoiled. They're worried about their crops business, right? They're worried about their stock, their inventory. But at the same time, no one's worried about the food being ingested and how it's going to make people feel or react or affect their body. And not just their body, through generations of offspring. So yeah, no one gives a fuck.
They're still largely available in the US and many other countries around the world. They are banned in most of Europe. One of the most popular and widely used GMO items across the US is corn. The product is used to produce many ingredients that are used in various foods and
Frosted
drinks.
Flakes.
But it all originates
Corn
from the
flakes.
same genetically modified crops that can have severe negative effects on human health. Rice Krispies. Did you know that Rice Krispies or any other cereals can't be sold with the same original ingredients in UK, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and even some European countries? We're sure you've seen them on the shelves in some of those countries, but their ingredient list had to be adjusted, and the companies had to remove the preservatives known as BHT and BHA. Both are banned in those countries, although they're still largely used elsewhere. BHT and BHA preservatives are used to prevent oils in foods from oxidizing, which allows you to enjoy the taste of chips, cookies, and many other products that would otherwise require a preservative for their oils. These two chemicals can actually be found in a large list of
food is made to taste good and last a long time. Also, I'm doing a lot of commentary on this. So, man, while I was deployed, one of the biggest things that really bothered me is when I went from Bagram to Camp Bastion, and when I was at Camp Bastion, I did the storeroom and stuff. And then ordering the food, we'll get spoiled food. Like that shit would happen, bro. And I was only there, I think, for like two months, maybe 2 or 3 months. Yeah, about somewhere around there. It was we would get food that was spoiled, vegetables, fruits, things that was spoiled. It just took a while to get there. You know, it's in a hot ass sun sometimes. Um, it was in the Connex boxes too. But one thing I noticed, it was like I forget what it was. I think it was EAS, something like that. It was their protein. Their protein shakes wouldn't expire for like 5 years. And even some of the milk, I'm like, wait, this milk don't expire for like a year. I'm like, I don't think we should be drinking this shit if it don't expire for a long time. Because my first thought was, there's a lot of preservatives in this shit. There's no fucking way, right? There's no fucking way that we should be drinking or eating this stuff that doesn't expire for years. I mean, we're not even talking about MREs, which is probably, who knows, probably just as bad too. But at the same time, they don't care. U.S. government, military, doesn't matter. They don't care. Because the goal is just get you something in your body to make you last for a little while. Now, whether you develop issues further on down the line, such as myself, that's not a problem. Why? Because they'll just throw money at the problem and it'll go away. Or you fight forever to get your money. It's fucked up, man. But think about it, man. Think about sometimes when you look at stuff and it doesn't expire for like 5 months, 6 months, a year. It makes you wonder, like, wait a minute, what the fuck is in here that it doesn't expire at all? All things perish. Everything dies, in a sense, right? Yet, some of your food can last for years. Should you ingest something that doesn't expire for a few years? That's a real question that should be proposed to all of us every time we go to shop at a local grocery store. Just
Products that are
saying,
mostly consumed by children. Think breakfast cereals, cookies, and
children,
sometimes
poison.
even frozen food. Their
We're
use has
poisoning
been labeled
kids.
as controversial after several conducted studies. It's been reported
There's an
that even
ad?
a low use of BHA can be
Yeah, but there's an ad in here. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I didn't even know there was an ad in this. That's crazy. Oh no. Damn, did I just skip it? Damn, I did. I just skipped the fucking video altogether and went to a different video. I messed that all up. Okay, let me try again. That was horrible. Wow. I tried to click the mute button, unmute it, and I definitely fucked that up. Let me find out where we left off at. Okay, it should be right here.
A low use of BHA can be toxic to cells and its development. Studies have also identified a risk of cancer and liver enlargement. However, it seems like the effects largely depend on each human, as some reports showed positive results when testing the levels of BHA. Regular consumption can result in rapid health and unpredicted behavior changes in humans. Because the
It's not to say that
preservatives
you
were
shouldn't
such a
eat this
mystery,
stuff.
they were banned.
Right. It's not to say that you shouldn't eat this stuff ever. It's just that moderation. Moderation. Always practice moderation in everything. Find a balance. Never too much of this, never too little of this. Just find a little bit of it. Just a moderation. Like, I still eat some of these foods. Not the cereals, actually. Stuff I eat like apple pie or something like that from Publix Bakery. And I'm looking at them like, oh, look at all the extra shit in here. But I try not to eat it too much. Sometimes I catch myself getting a pie once a week. But I slow down a little bit, get every now and then and stuff like that. But you gotta be careful what you consume, man, because they clearly don't give a fuck, because it seems like everything they're talking about, what does it do? Cause cancer.
Previously mentioned countries that now use safer alternatives. Tyson chicken. You've probably guessed by now that the majority of food you consume on a regular basis
Tyson chicken was one of the main things that we had on the Air Force Base. In the Diamond facility, it was Tyson chicken. I'm like, huh, yeah, I got Tyson chicken, huh? Uh-huh. And then actually more of the, what was it, FTI food transition initiative, something like that. The Air Force trying to go more healthy, more local grown, more fresh products and stuff like that. Still, I'm pretty sure a lot of GMO stuff, so not like it actually matters, because at the end of the day, when we're dealing with the government, it's anything that's contracted out, or anything that needs to be purchased, you always purchase the best deal possible. So that means you're gonna get the lowest amount Are you gonna find the thing with the lowest price? Three options. You pick three options, and you pick them based on their price and somewhat quality, but you usually try to go with the lowest price, the lowest costing thing. Yeah, because quality does not matter.
Probably banned in other countries. We bet it can be quite scary discovering that your favorite cereal or even your favorite type of meat contain chemicals that can be dangerous to your health. Along with several other American food companies, Tyson
Let me
Foods,
go
the
back
company
real quick
that can be dangerous to your health. Along with
for
several
the audio version of the podcast. So you have it's showing all these fast food places. So Denny's, Arby's, KFC, Chili's, Buffalo Wild Wings, Domino's, Sonic, Jack in the Box, Starbucks. Everybody loves Starbucks. Poison. Dairy Queen, IHOP, Applebee's, Olive Garden. There's all these places I ate at before, man. Denny's, yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings. Like to go there and get some wings and stuff. Shit. And now I won't go there no more. So I'm just like, fuck, man, I can't even go to Buffalo. Every now and then I'll go there and get some wings stuff, like watching the games or their UFC event on that Saturday night. And then sometimes I just cook my own wings and say, fuck it. Sonic, I used to love eating Sonic, man. This is how bad Sonic is. I used to leave Sonic sitting in my car when I was in like high school, sitting out in the hot Florida sun for like a day or two. No, probably like a little over a day. And I'll just go in there and drink that shake or whatever I had. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. So when I talk about having medical issues stuff, man, who knows? There's a lifelong of different things and things that I still always exercised and worked out, right? I still took vitamins and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter because there's so much other things that you're not focusing and paying attention to. And it's really just the most simplest. Eating certain foods, paying attention to what you consume.
other American food companies, Tyson Foods, the company behind the popular Tyson chicken, is also on the list of banned items. Europe, Russia, Norway, and even Australia banned the import of Tyson chicken. Sanderson Chicken and similar companies, after FDA approved, they have tested positive for an antibiotic remedy that is not approved in the poultry production. Sanderson Farms also produced positive results for residues of steroids, hormones, and anti-inflammatory drugs, which include ketamine. Tyson Foods were caught injecting chickens with gentamicin, a drug that can cause permanent hearing damage to humans. Many of the poultry grown in the U.S. contain several unlabeled drugs that can actually contribute to human weight gain and eliminate most health benefits we'd normally get from eating chicken. After public outcry, Tyson Foods announced they will phase out the antibiotics in their chickens by 2017, and their current statement says that the company completely stopped using antibiotics by September 2017.
The label says all natural.
Their poultry now only uses FDA-approved antibiotics. Tyson chicken is still banned from many European countries and other places including Russia, Australia, and Canada. Bread with potassium bromate. Whenever we hear the word potassium, we immediately think of it as something healthy. Potassium found in bananas and coconut water can have a very positive effect on human health, but that's not the case for potassium bromide. This additive can be found in most commercial bread types and other baked goods. It keeps the dough more elastic and more presentable. But if there's one thing we're learning today, is that just because something looks more attractive on the outside, it doesn't mean it's good for you on the inside. That's exactly why commercial bread with potassium bromide is largely banned in Canada, China, and the EU. Although potassium bromide has been labeled as largely safe, it can be completely toxic to humans. When consumed, it can cause headaches, skin rashes, and several digestive issues. India has also banned the additive after studies discovered the chemical is also responsible for causing cancer.
Yeah, another thing that causes cancer.
The mysterious additive can be found in 84% of 38 commonly available bread brands.
All the fucking bread.
Center for Science and Environment India proposed a ban on potassium iodate, a similar agent that's usually used as a flour treatment in bread. Both chemicals have been reported to be harmful for human health and are associated with cancer as well as thyroid-related issues. Are you consuming bread?
So you check your bread next time you buy it.
List? Foods with fat substitutes. Have you ever heard of Olestra? It's a fat substitute made to make snacks like fat-free potato chips appear much healthier than they actually actually are. Sounds ideal, right? What could possibly go wrong when you consume something that's been labeled as fat-free? Well, it turns out that this zero-calorie fat substitute comes with many side effects that will still negatively affect your health. Seems a bit counterproductive, doesn't it? This greedy chemical was approved back in January 1996, but since then it has caused plenty of harmful effects.
So you have
While
a
it
generation
removed
growing
unwanted
up on
fat
this type
from
of food.
foods, it did prevent the body from absorbing essential vitamins needed for human health. Some of the side effects of consuming Olestra included cramps, gas, and loose bowels. You can still find Olestra in American products, but this fat substitute has been banned from Canada and Europe. So if you ever wonder why your zero-calorie chips are giving you cramps and disturbing your bowel movements, it could just be that it's because of Olestra. The additive is legal, and FDA even removed the Olestra label in 2003 after conducting that stomach-troubling effects are very mild and in most cases extremely rare.
The FDA
Even
ain't
so,
shit,
Europe
man.
and Canada are still keeping the additive away from their fat-free products. We'll let you be the judge of this one. Sports drinks with BBO. Sports drinks are known to be healthy, right?
So,
They come
Gatorade,
with added
Powerade.
vitamins, added protein, and other elements that boost your health
Probably
and
vitamin
performance.
water.
But in the U.S., 10% of sports drinks can contain an additive called BBO, also known as brominated vegetable oil. This corn or soybean
You ever wonder
oil
too
is
when you go
mixed
into the grocery store or whatever you buy a sports drink and you see why is there so much? Why are there so many options? Low calorie this and 0 calorie that, or it's this and that type of sports drink and blah blah. And it's like, the fuck? what? Why you got all this stuff in it, man? Why you got these colorful dyes and stuff in the sports drinks? The fuck you need anyways other than water? And Gatorade. What is Gatorade made at the University of Florida, right? And now look at it. Oh yeah, Gatorade is great for you to have and stuff. I mean, you don't need to drink it all the time. I used to sit there and drink Gatorade because I didn't want to drink water. I was like, yeah, well, at least I'm drinking Gatorade. Yeah, I had to stop doing that shit because I looked into some research, and this is this is about what 7 years ago, something like that. And I was like, oh man, can't drink Gatorade. What the fuck? Just can't drink shit. Now I was drinking vitamin water. Oh, vitamin water is good. Nope. It's like no matter what you take, there's something in it. Like hell, you can't even trust the fucking water you drink either because of fluoride. You can't trust anything, man.
Toxic element of bromine, which has been largely banned in Japan and Europe. You can find it in drinks like Mountain Dew, Fanta Orange, and Gatorade Thirst Quencher Orange. BBO acts as an emulsifier, which prevents the flavoring and the attractive color from separating from the drink and floating to the surface. We're pretty sure it wouldn't make the drink look as appealing. While the FDA limits the amount of BVO to 15 parts per million beverages, the emulsifier has been completely banned in Europe and Japan. Bromine, the same chemical which can be found in bread, can also be found in many sports drinks. Absorbing bromine replaces your body's needs for iodine, which can cause a deficiency and an increased risk of breast cancer, thyroid gland, and ovary and prostate cancers. Bromine has also been found to accumulate in the central nervous system and breast milk. It's been known to cause a number of health problems since 1971, but somehow the strange additive is still largely used in many U.S. drinks.
Look at all this shit,
American
bro.
milk. Europe also has a strange relationship with American milk. Although it makes sense to not import milk from the U.S. due to the product's shelf life, there's another reason why you might never see American milk products on European shelves. American milk products contain RBGH, a growth hormone which is injected in dairy cows to increase milk production.
You see, I've been thinking about this lately because I'm like, it's fun because, what was it, 50, 60, something like that? And I think I've seen this on the What the Health, which I think it was a documentary on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it's still there or not. But it was talking about milk. Because one, why is your milk white? Shouldn't be that way. They bleach the milk, so that's an issue. They bleach the milk to make it look white, look appeasing. And then they put this RGBH, whatever, or hormone in it, into the cows, whatever, so you have more of the milk. At the same time, what was it in the 50s, 60s, whatever, you got to drink milk to get your bones big and strong and calcium and stuff like that. But you can get calcium from plants and other animals and almond milk and other stuff like that. So another thing, right? Another concern. Then you look at some of these kids sometimes and it's like, man, why these kids are shooting up so fast? Like why they like have the body of a adult when they're like 14? I get puberty, but well, it's a lot of hormones. But that's the thing. There's a lot of hormones injected into our food. Kind of disturbing, right? Because you really don't grow into your full adult body until you're like 21, 22. Like that's when you really stop growing and stuff. So puberty lasts for years, and then from like 22 on to like what 40 something, like whatever, you're really in your prime body. But for whatever reason, everybody's shooting up. Oh, now we know why. The hormones in the milk, hormones in some of the other food, probably the meat, steak, because you're injecting the cow with hormones, so it's not just the milk. I mean, then also the question: are you even supposed to drink cow's milk? Because human beings seems to be the only species that drinks milk outside of the infancy stage. And a lot of people, not a lot of people, I think, I don't know, the percentage is still the same, but I think it's like 1/3 or 33% of adults have a hard time ingesting milk, lactose tolerance. You have to be careful on all this stuff, man, because it's not made by design to be nourishing and to be beneficial to the body. It's made to look good, taste good, and let's be honest, be addictive. Be addicting because if you're gonna change your perspective. If you're gonna create a food product, what do you want it to do? You want it to look good. You want it to taste good, and you want it to be somewhat addicting rather, because you want people to come back and continue to consume more of it. Not once are you thinking, oh, let me make this food stuff because I want people to be healthy, right? Because when you look at a perspective of you're trying to make money, what's the best way to try to make money? Make the food taste good, make it look good, make it be addicting so people keep coming back.
Has been reportedly linked to cancer risks and increased levels of thyroid hormone enzyme. RBGH is also responsible for an increase in long-chain fatty acid levels, which pose several cardiovascular risks. RBGH has also been associated with excess levels of...
You want to know why heart disease and cancer are the two leading causes of deaths in America? Look no further than your own fucking food.
Natural insulin-like growth factor 1, which has been reported to increase breast cancer, colon cancer, and prostate cancer risks. Due to these concerns, the consumption of American milk has been banned in many countries, including Norway, Switzerland,
they are literally
Japan,
poisoning us in
New Zealand,
America.
Australia, and 29 European nations that opted out for a safer alternative. The FDA has been criticized for not publishing studies that clearly show the dangers of using RBGH in milk and continues to state that there is no significant difference between
as I say all this stuff, I'm not even necessarily worried about a study. It's just why you're adding extra shit with no concern about what it can do to the human body. You're only adding shit because you're worried about the final product. Does it look good? Does it taste good? And will people come back to buy more? So that's what makes me suspicious of the whole thing. Irregardless of the studies, you're adding extra things, not for health benefits, because you don't need no health benefits. Me eating the food is a health benefit. That's it. But when you want to make things look good, you want to make things taste good, then that lets me know that, one, your heart's in the wrong place, because you're not worried about human beings, humanity. You're not worried about the species. You're worried about lining your pockets. You're worried about profits.
Non-RBGH milk. However, it has been reported that cows exposed to RBGH often show stress and infections to their udder, which means they also have to be infused by antibiotics, many of which are illegal in the U.S. What do you think? Should RBGH be banned in the U.S.? Meat with arsenic. And last but not least, Europe has also banned a substance that's largely used in plenty of American poultry. If you're still watching, you've probably discovered that the U.S. poultry isn't exactly raised to be the healthiest option for humans, and it can have many negative effects on human health. But while you're on the lookout for chemicals we mentioned earlier, you should also keep in mind a substance known as arsenic. While organic arsenic is an approved drug and the less toxic toxic type, it can transform into inorganic arsenic, which can be found in elevated levels of supermarket stored
1%
chicken.
natural
Arsenic
chicken.
is largely used to burst blood vessels and make the chicken look pink and plump. This can have negative effects on the soil, which as a result affects the entire environment. But of course, long-term exposure can increase cancer risks and cause chromosome damage. So how come you can still find arsenic in the US poultry? Unfortunately, it's because FDA thinks it's perfectly fine. While this drug-filled meat is banned in Europe, it's still largely available in the US, as the FDA declared the products are safe because of organic arsenic. Since then, the statement has been questioned by scientific reports, which have found plenty of traces of inorganic arsenic are actually associated with cancer risks we mentioned earlier. So next time you buy any kind of poultry, make sure you avoid any toxic substances you might not even know you're consuming. And that's it for our video.
Everything's gonna kill us, man. Everything's gonna kill us, man. There's a website, what was it, Stacker? It was posted on MSN. This article is from December 4th, 2020. So just a little bit more of an update. Same stuff though. Doritos is basically talking about the same thing that video just said. The chemicals, the dyes and stuff. FDA ain't shit, man. Like, let's be honest, bro. FDA ain't shit. What is the Food Drug Administration? These are the same people that gave the emergency use for the vaccines. Also, the vaccines are not approved. They just have emergency use authorization. They're not actually approved. They can't be approved because enough time hasn't passed. So they haven't done enough studies. But look, man, so it's in the Pillsbury Crescent rolls. High fructose corn syrup. This sweetener made from pure fructose and sugar is linked to a variety of ailments like obesity and type 2 diabetes. So you want to know, oh, why you're not losing weight? You've been working out, doing all the things you're doing. Oh, well, I've been paying attention to my diet, have you? Because have you been looking to see what foods you eat that might still have high fructose corn syrup just because it says it's low fat, low calories? A low calories soda? It doesn't mean shit if there's high fructose corn syrup in it, man. So it's found in everything from beverages to cereals and ice cream. While it isn't banned specifically in any country, the UK and some European countries have restricted the products and placed it under quota limitations. And you know what? It doesn't matter if it's banned or not, because it's not the government's responsibility. It's not corporation's responsibility. It's your own responsibility. You want to find someone to blame? Once again, look in the mirror. I was like, man, why is all this so? And I realized, you know, I can't get mad at nobody but myself. I fucked up. I'm sitting there feeding these things to my kids, these Pop-Tarts and stuff like that. I'm like, what am I doing, man? And I've just been slowly trying to get off certain foods and stuff and all different things throughout my lifetime. Because some of this food and stuff, man, like, there's nothing you can do about it, right? Some of this food is some of these things is everywhere. And even if you try to eat organic or go vegan or something like that, let's be honest with you, unless you're cooking and growing and hunting the food yourself, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you gotta be completely independent because it's shitty, right? And some of the meat I get from a butcher box, and it's supposed to be 100% grass-fed, animal-free, roam range, and all this other stuff. It says these things, and I look into it, and I did research and blah blah, but it doesn't mean I'm still not skeptical on it. I still question it. Man. I can tell the difference a little bit, as in, I want to say I get fuller when I eat organic food as opposed to not being as full when I eat food that's not organic. And in a sense, the way I rationalize that, and I'm thinking, you know what? Well, of course I would. To me, it seems like the food that I get that's not organic would not fill me up as fast, because the goal is for me to buy more. So I try to look at it from a business perspective, because once again, there's no ethics in business. Money is money. However you make it, you make it. And so I try to pay attention to those certain things. Raspberry Jello, you can't eat Jello, bro. You can't eat shit. Pillsbury pie, Pillsbury apparently ain't shit. Betty Crocker fudge brownies, Sunkist soda. It's like this shit look like pure just straight poison. Straight poison. I know it talked about Mountain Dew, but what was that one soda? Surge. if you're old enough to remember, Surge. Surge, I was like, God damn, man, that's kind of crazy, man. Surge was just pure fucking just poison in a can. I remember drinking it a couple times. I'm like, oh, this shit just feels like it's bad. And then I had a lot of did I have a lot? I had a lot of cavities over my life. I still got feelings in my mouth. I think I had like 1 or 2 cavities when I was a kid, and then I actually seemed to get a lot more cavities when I was an adult. I joined the military. I was like, wait a minute, I thought I brushed my teeth a little bit more. I'm doing less. Nah, it was just certain foods I was eating and stuff. And this stuff I'm just eating right at a dining facility on base at my own job. It didn't matter, man. Like, you really have to pay attention to your own health, and it's no one's fault but your own. And that's the reality of the situation. Pillsbury biscuits. Pillsbury is not shit. Genetically engineered papaya, Fresca, Ritz crackers, all the popular brand names. Tostitos, Coin, Conquisto dip, right? We talked about the bread, Lucky Charms. I always hate Lucky Charms, me personally, but still. Sausage and Pop-Tarts. Like I said, Pop-Tarts, man. I like Pop-Tarts. My son likes Pop-Tarts. And then I kept looking at him. I was like, you know what? I've been balancing out. But I noticed he kept eating a lot of them. So I was like, nope, I'm going to switch it. So now I switched to like a non-GMO organic Pop-Tarts, wheat-based Pop-Tarts. He doesn't like them. But I was like, it doesn't matter. Because I'm going to keep buying them. And he's going to like them or not. Regardless, I'm eating them. His oatmeal. I've switched from just a Publix brand oatmeal and stuff like that. Was it is it Kellogg's? I can't think of the name, the other brand. But I switched to, well, still Publix, but it's Greenwise organic oatmeal. I'm looking at the back of the box. All right, what's in this? Bam, bam. 3 ingredients. Oh my God. There's 3 ingredients in this organic oatmeal as opposed to the other oatmeal. It's like 10. That's an issue right there, man. Gatorade talked about that. Wheat thin Skittles, man. You ever eat Skittles? Skittles is, I don't really eat that much candy anymore. I never really did too much. Probably just didn't take care of my teeth. Probably didn't brush enough, but whatever. I wasn't really too big on too much candy. But when I did eat candy, it would be like Skittles. Pure fucking poison on your teeth, man. I eat Skittles now. I'm just like, what the fuck? I just feel horrible, man. My mouth feels horrible. It's just pure poison, man. This is just talking about the yellow 5, yellow 6, and red 40 dye. Once again, we're not the high fructose corn syrup. That's an issue, right? Drumstick stove top stuffing, coffee mate for all you coffee drinkers out there. Fucking coffee mate, bro. Was a hydrogenated soybean in it. Frosted Flakes. Another thing I loved growing up as a kid. I fucking love Frosted Flakes. Whether it's Kellogg's or Quaker Oats. Quaker Oats. There we go. I can't think of it. But whether it's Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, whether it's a Polar Bear Frosted Flakes, me personally, the off-brand Frosted Flakes like Polar Bear tastes better. Doesn't fucking matter. It's still the same poison in it. Now I'll eat Corn Flakes. That's organic, or a lot of greenwash products from Publix and stuff. Giving them fucking free advertising. But, man, and it tastes different, man. Trust me. It tastes different, man. And I don't have that same lingering for, oh, man, I just got to have this. Now it's like, I'll eat it if I'm hungry. And really, the sad reality of it is that's how it's supposed to be. Not, hey, I really want to eat this because it tastes good. It's, okay, I'm hungry. What do I need to put substance into my body in order to survive? That's what you should be worried about. Arby's Swiss rolls. Look at all the shit. Look at all the shit that I used to eat on here, man. This is a reality I have to face. I used to love eating Little Debbie Swiss rolls. Sit there and just eat the whole fucking box. Bad. Poison, man. Poison myself, man. And then it made me feel even worse because I used to give this shit to my kids. Something I gotta pay attention to, man. Now my kids get excited about organic cookies. They don't even taste great. But for them, it's like the taste bud. I think I mentioned before. One of my friends, I think she was born in Japan and stuff, but she eats those foods organic and stuff. But she's like, I don't think of it trying to be healthy. That's just the food that she grew up on eating. So you really need to not kind of got to deprogram yourself. For us in America, in American culture, we're surrounded by snacks, fast food, all types of shit that's there for our convenience, all these little sweets and stuff, but we're only eating it because it tastes good, which is really illogical when you think about it, because you're supposed to be eating to survive, to provide your body with substance so you can continue doing, the thing that you want to do, like live. But yeah, we don't give a fuck. We're just gonna keep eating shit. It says meat with ractopine. Ractopine. I don't know what this is. It says United States farmers use ractopine. I'm probably saying that wrong. To increase lean muscle growth in livestock, including 40 to 60% of American pigs. I stopped eating pork. I fucking love bacon. I mean, who doesn't love bacon? Minus you, religious people, particularly Islam. They're not gonna eat pork, but pork. The things they do to pork too, man, it's kind of disgusting. And you probably don't want to eat it either if you pay attention to it. So I cut out pork. I don't eat pork. Every now and then I'll eat bacon and someone else cooks it and stuff, but and now when you go eat it, you just feel odd. Your stomach reacts differently to it. Like when we eat fast food now, like it feels different. Pizza. I would get certain types of pizza and stuff. Now I switch to organic pizza. It's way smaller, but yet it seems to be filling us up every Friday. It's crazy. But then again, it makes you wonder: is that not how it's supposed to be? Why you need to eat? Why you need to have gluttony? Why you need to eat beyond what your belly feels? Right? Eat to survive. Chicken, chlorinated chicken, Mountain Dew. Once again with the milk, dairy products, farm raised salmon, and stuff like that. So this is from the FDA because, as always, gotta go to the source, the fucking government, because these people love to lie. So this says this content is current as of April 22nd, 2020. That's kind of crazy. But it talks about the history, the timeline of modified genetic modification in agriculture. I like how they're trying to really. So it says for the title of the article, it says science and history of GMOs and other food modification processes. So they're trying to show you like, oh look, we've been modifying our food genetically or whatever, scientifically, for centuries, for thousands of years. So there's nothing wrong with it now. I don't give a shit. It says circa 800 BCE, humans used traditional modification methods like selective breeding and crossbreeding to breed plants and animals with more desirable traits. That's not the same, man. That's not the same as genetically modifying things. That's from a mechanical or manufacturer standpoint. You crossbreeding is nothing. A breed is still within the same species, and depending on what type of doctrine and biology you want to go with, breed really means nothing. Like different dog breeds, still a dog. It doesn't mean anything. The species can mate with another so-called species, then it's still one species. I forget what that theory is called, but to me that makes sense. So that's what I go with. It says in 1866, Gregor Mendel, an Austrian monk, breeds two different types of peas and identifies the basic process of genetics. 1922, the first hybrid corn is produced and sold commercially. 1940, plant breeders learned to use radiation or chemicals to randomly change an organ's DNA. That's the problem right there. Because before we're talking about more of a natural means, and we do it in the human species where you diversity, biodiversity. You're supposed to mate with other people outside of your tribe to have more genetic diversity. That's what it's supposed to be. If you want to call breeds, you want to say races, breeds, whatever, you're supposed to mix up the diversity or have the biodiversity in a certain species, within a species, or even within a geographical location. But my thing is, when you want to use radiation or chemicals to change an organism's DNA, that's where I have issue at, because that's a little disturbing. Why are you using chemicals? Manufactured, man-made things. There's one thing to crossbreed, and we're talking about within the same species. We're talking about natural, right? As opposed to now we're bringing in man-made chemicals. Does that make sense? That's where I have issues at. It says building on discoveries of chemists Rosalind Franklin, scientists James Watson and Francis Crick identified the structure of DNA. Okay, that's 1953. 1973, biochemists Herbert Boyer and Stanley Cohen developed genetic engineering by inserting DNA from one bacteria into another. 1982, FDA approves the first consumer GMO product developed through genetic engineering, human insulin to treat diabetes. So the first GMO product developed through genetic engineering, FDA approved that in 1982. So now we have the generation of people within their 30s and 40s that grew up on GMO foods. So we gotta wait until we all die off and find out, okay, how does it affect everybody? But most people in their 30s and 40s act like they are super old and they're dying and breaking down. But no, let's be honest, we should probably question what the fuck we've been eating our whole lives, right? I mean, that's a legit question, right? That's a legit concern. 1986, the federal government establishes a coordinated framework for the regulation of biotechnology. This policy describes how the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the EPA, and USDA work together. Okay, whatever. I just sat there and read that. It's pointless. Okay, the FDA policy states that foods from GMO plants must meet the same requirements, including the same safety standards as food derived from traditionally bred plants in 1992. My thing is, remember, Agenda 2030, one of their goals is to feed everybody, end world hunger. And they want to go about that way by, having us eat fake food. Literally, manufactured, man-made created food through GMOs. Now, if you control the food supply, guess what you do? You control who gets to fucking eat or not. Kind of disturbing, right? Because my thing is, if you want to end world hunger, how about we teach everybody how to grow their own food? Give people the tools they need themselves to, I don't know, feed themselves. That's not right. Does that make sense? A way to end world hunger? No? Okay. Or just eat the plants and stuff that's already out there? Can we end world hunger that way? Can we just end world hunger by just all taking the time to plant fruits and vegetables and stuff like that? No, we're going to end world hunger through GMOs, where some corporation controls it, and a corporation association with some government organization like, oh, look at that, the World Health Organization, United Nations. People are trying to kill us, bro. They're trying to kill us. Population control right in front of your face. Let's say, so 1994, the first GMO produce created through, the first GMO produce created through genetic engineering. A GMO tomato becomes available for sale after studies evaluated by federal agencies proved it to be as safe as traditionally bred tomatoes. How? When, once again, you're not really paying attention to any long-term side effects that may arise, especially when it's ingested inside the human body and mixed with other things inside the human body and other food that you eat. But don't worry, because they did enough so-called studies that it's all good, bro. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Hey, don't worry about it, guy. We did enough studies. It's all good. Let's say the first wave of GMO produce created through genetic engineering becomes available to consumers. In 1990s, summer squash, soybeans. I do not like soybeans, man. And they did a video on my YouTube channel about soybeans. Oh man, I was talking about something else. Soybeans, man. Soy. There's studies that say soy lowers testosterone in men. Wanna know why you got a lot of emasculated, feminized men? Maybe too much soy. Was that South Korea group? I think it's South Korean K-pop group though. BTS. Can't tell they're male or females. I'm not trying to make fun of them. I'm being objective, man. Like this is a real thing. It's kind of suspicious, man. I'm just being objective as possible. I'm not even trying to make fun of them. Like I have no intentions on making fun of this. Like this is something that we should be concerned about. Men testosterone levels being lower because they're eating too much soy products. My son, he was like he liked Nutella. And I looked at Nutella, I'm checking the ingredients. I'm like, oh nah, man, you can't eat this. And I told him, I broke it down to him, and I explained to him about, hey, I don't know if this is actual true or not, but I don't even want to risk it. I don't even want to risk it because soy, GMO, genetically modified. I don't know what's going on with it. And he's like, okay, makes sense. I was like, I'll find some organic, some type of Nutella, organic spread, something like that. And he's like, all right. Fine with me, because he said thinking, that doesn't sound good either, man. And that's the thing. Like when you look into this stuff, it's suspicious, man. FDA says, oh, don't worry about it, it's good. I'm like, fuck no, guy. It's a little suspicious, man. It said cotton, corn, papayas, tomatoes, potatoes, and canola. Not all are still available for sale. That's in the 1990s. 2003, the World Health Organization and the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations developed international guidelines and standards to determine the safety of GMO foods. Yeah, fuck them. If you trust them, that's your business. Me, I'm gonna say no. That's a hard pass for me. That's not just a no. That is a fuck no. GMO alfalfa. Damn, I really thought about alfalfa from Little Rascals. But GMO alfalfa and sugar beets are available for sale in the United States. That's 2005. You notice this is really recent. In the past 40 years. FDA approves an application for first genetic modification in an animal for use as food, a genetically engineered salmon. That's in 2015. 2015. No. Congress passes a law requiring labeling for some foods produced through genetic engineering and use the term bioengineered, which will start to appear on some foods. What foods? What food? When the last time you seen something that said bioengineer on it? In fact, I still only see shit that says GMO label. Only thing I see is non-GMOs, and that's usually some third-party organization that has done the studies or so-called whatever they say. And once again, you're still taking a risk because unless you grow your own food, you're just taking a risk. 2017, GMO apples are available for sale in the U.S. FDA completes consultation on first food from a genome edited plant in 2019. It says how GMOs are made. GMOs, a genetically modified organism, has become the common term consumers and popular media use to describe foods that have been created through genetic engineering. Genetic engineering is a process that involves identifying the genetic information or gene that gives an organism a desired trait, copying that information from the organism that has the trait, inserting the information into the DNA of another organism, then growing the new organism. All I hear is man-made, man-made, man-made. Why? The best technology and the best science is already in existence on Earth. Gaia, the planet Earth. I just really thought of Captain Planet in my head. But Gaia, the planet Earth, has already did it, all this shit through thousands of years of evolution, through wherever else, wherever you want to believe in. If you want to believe in God, God already done it. It doesn't fucking matter. I don't know about you, but I'm not believing in man. I'm definitely not believing in government. Because clearly, this past year, everyone should realize the government does not have your best interests at heart. And if you still think the government cares about you, I don't know what the fuck to tell you anymore. I don't know what amount of evidence that you need. I don't know what level I don't know how someone can be so naive and so trustworthy of an institution of people that you will never meet or encounter with, who can lie to you dead in your face and not blink because it doesn't matter. It does not matter to them. It's just part of their job. And it goes on to talk about how to make a GMO plant and all the other stuff. And yeah, kiss my ass, FDA. Fuck this, man. It's even worse. So, these two things I want to talk about: organic and natural. So, this is from the USDA, which is the United States Drug Administration, right? Oh, I'm sorry, the United States Department of Agriculture. I'm gonna say, I think I said it wrong. So, it says, understand the USDA organic label. This article is from 2017. It said, amidst nutrition facts, ingredients lists, and dietary claims on food packages, organic might appear as one more piece of information to decipher when shopping for products. Understanding what label means can help shoppers make informed purchase choice. I just read a pointless paragraph. Organic is a labeling term found on products that have been produced using cultural, biological, and mechanical practices that support the cycling of on-farm resources, promote ecological balance, and conserve biodiversity. The National Organic Program, part of USDA's marketing, blah, blah, enforces organic regulations and ensuring the integrity of the USDA organic seal. What makes you wonder, why isn't everything just organic? Right? Right. It's funny that this whole label of organic had to come about because they were doing the GMOs. Let's see. In order to make an organic claim or use the USDA organic seal, the final product must follow strict production, handling, and labeling standards and go through the organic certification process. It says the standards address a variety of factors such as soil quality, animal raising practices, and pest and weed control. Synthetic fertilizers, sewage, sludge, irrigation, and genetic engineering may not be used. So also, when we talk about organic and stuff, they still use pesticides, maybe just not to a certain level, but it's still in there. Organic producers rely on natural substances and physical, mechanical, and biologically based farming methods to the fullest extent possible. It's regular shit. I like how they threw all these names, all these different terms out there. We're talking about just regular ass farming. Back to the basics, the foundations of agriculture. Organic produce must be grown on soil that had no prohibited substances, most synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. Applied for 3 years prior to harvest. As for organic meat, the standards require that animals are raised in living conditions accommodating their natural behaviors, fed organic feed, and not administered antibiotics or hormones. I'm just worried about all the extra man-made chemicals and stuff like that. That's it. That's all I'm worried about. Because I'm not gonna go kill my own fucking pig or my own chicken. Right? I'm not gonna raise my chicken and kill them. I'm not a farmer. That's not me. It's not something I'm into. I like modern society. I'm not gonna lie. Doesn't mean I can't do the shit if I need to. We all could do it if we need to, but yeah, I don't want to. It's the truth of the matter, man. Call it lazy, call it whatever you want to, but I'm just being honest. Okay, so there are 4 distinct label categories for organic products: 100% organic, made with organic ingredients, and some organic ingredients. In the 100% organic category, products must be made with 100% certified organic ingredients. The label must include the name of the certifying agent and may include the USDA organic seal and are the 100% organic claim. So majority of the stuff when I buy organic, it has the USDA organic seal, but like I said, I still just read the ingredients. I just read the ingredients. That's it. Look, take a bag of rice. See how much shit you'll see in a bag of rice. Guess what you we'll see everything, including just the term rice. And see, when you buy organic rice, it just says organic rice. That's it. Because it shouldn't be all this other extra shit. And really, a lot of stuff won't necessarily go bad for a while if you keep it stored at good temperatures. Which really, if your house ain't burning up hot and shit, you should be straight. Since for at least for a little while, at some point, even that stuff will get bad. But guess what? It's supposed to go bad. Your food going bad is good. That means you got some decent food because it shouldn't last that long. I buy some fruit and stuff and the kids won't eat it for about a week, and then I open it up, the container, and it's spoiled and it's growing mold on it. And my first thought is, damn it, nobody ate this food in time. And then my second thought is, I'm glad to see this shit going bad though. It lets me know that, yeah, your food stays in your refrigerator for a week, it should go bad. If it stays in there for a long time and doesn't go bad, there's some extra shit in it. But yeah, that's pretty much what organic is. There's a lot more to it. I'm not gonna read it all. But so that's organic, right? And then you have the term natural. This is from the FDA website. Article is from October 27, 2018. It says the use of the term natural on food labeling. The FDA requests comments on the use of the term natural food on the term natural on food labeling. It says because of the changing landscape of food ingredients and production and in direct response to consumers who have requested that the FDA explore the use of the term natural, the agency asked the public to provide information and comments on the use of this term in the labeling of human food products. I don't know why, but whatever. I guess it makes people feel better to be included on some shit or some of the lies. But let's see. I don't even think this article says the FDA took this action in part because it received 3 citizens petitions asking that the agency define the term natural for use in food labeling, and 1 citizen petition asking that the agency prohibit the term natural on food labels. We also note that some federal courts, as a result of litigation between private parties, have requested administrative determinations from the FDA regarding whether food products containing ingredients produced using genetic engineering or foods containing high fructose corn syrup may be labeled as natural. So this whole thing is really based about the FDA will not define what the word natural means. And as I was trying to look up the definition for natural, there is nothing. There is nothing. When we're talking about food labeling, the definition of natural, there is nothing. And this is, I've tried to go to the source of the government, the FDA, and this is what I could find. I probably should do a little bit more digging. Say, okay, what's on this side? It says changes to the nutrition facts. No, it's talking about something else. But why? Why are they making such a hard time to label what natural means? Okay, so it says, although the FDA has not engaged in rulemaking to establish a formal definition for the term natural, we do have a long-standing policy concerning the use of natural, it's in quotes, in human food labeling. Human food labeling, what the fuck? Even my cat, man, I try to get my cat organic food. I try to pay attention to what I get my cat. I don't just give my cat anything, man. I'm like, you know what? If I'm eating good, my cat gotta eat good too, bro. She'll part of this family, even though she get on my nerves, which actually makes her definitely a part of this family because she get on my nerves. So I pay attention to that. I'm like, okay, yeah, this organic shit costs a lot of fucking money, but you know, and it's even hard to find organic stuff. And some of the stuff I did find, it's not necessarily, it's not 100% organic, but the closest I can get for the most part at a decent price. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna spend that much money on my cat food and stuff. I want to, but whew, you're talking about $50 for like 5 pounds of food. Like, what the hell? That's a lot, man. That's a lot. And hey, my money ain't good like that. Maybe I'm just cheap. But no, but the stuff I get, I still try to make sure there's no GMOs, right? So the food I do get, my main concern is no GMOs. It says the food has considered, the FDA has considered the term natural to mean that nothing artificial or synthetic, including all color additives regardless of source, has been included in or has been added to a food that would not normally be expected to be in that food. However, This policy was not intended to address food production methods. So natural, like, oh yeah, there's no artificial or synthetic added into it. But if it was produced this way, that's not our problem when we're talking about natural. So such as the use of pesticides, nor did it explicitly address food processing or manufacturing methods, such as thermal technologies, pasteurization, or irradiation. The FDA also did not consider whether the term natural should be described or should describe any nutritional or other health benefit. Misleading as fuck, right? The fact that someone could just put natural on something, that's what someone had to learn too. Like, oh, yo, this is natural, this is natural. Then it's like, yeah, because you don't want to get organic, because you're like, organic costs a little bit more, although the past years, organic been costing a little bit less. But now that I think about it, I don't think organic necessarily been costing less. I think, well, inflation. Inflation, all the other products are starting to cost more. That's it. But the fact that the FDA will come out and just give an actual formal definition by their own standards what natural means, clearly is shady. It's clearly shady. Because you're selling your one brand of products, and then you're selling your natural, no additive brands of product, no high fructose corn syrup like in Capri Suns. Those things are bad too. I had to stop having those. And then you have organic. And see, I used to make fun of people like, oh, you want to eat organic? Oh, you think you're fancy? Like, oh, whatever. You're some rich celebrity. Like, oh, you worry about what you're going to eat? Fuck it, you'll be all right. Until all my health issues, I was like, oh, look at you, dumbass. I look at myself in the mirror like, well, you're a fucking idiot. Talking all that shit. Knowing damn well that you probably should have been focusing on it when it said organic, that you probably should have paid more attention to like the things you're eating. But you're like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm still good. I'm still young and strong and stuff. I feel great. Even though I was lying to myself then, I've been had problems. I just like, I'll be all right. Walk it off. But no, man, it's not, you're getting older. That's something I have to realize too for myself. Like, hey, just because I'm getting older doesn't mean your body starts crumbling, man. You're in your prime of your body until you're like at least 50, really, when you think about it. You should be. You should really be good physically until you fucking die. I mean, old age should be the only thing that kills you, because I guess aging is the disease now, apparently. So that should be the only thing that gets you down. Really, because if you're taking care of yourself and you're healthy and you're paying attention to your nutrition, your exercise, stuff like that, you should be straight. Minus some genetic things that are, through hereditary or something like that. But who knows now, because all this food we've been consuming since the 80s, it's all fucked up. Oh man. Oh man. It's so bad, bro. It's so bad. There's another video. There's a couple videos I wanted to show, and I forgot what I wanted to show now. Was this it? So it was the 10 banned foods, and what else was it? Okay, yeah, it was this one and then another one. It was because when you're talking about your food and so that way you ingest, you gotta pay attention to your overall health.
COVID-19 has encouraged.
And then of course I pressed the wrong fucking button. Go back to it.
COVID-19 has encouraged many of us to look at how we might.
Yeah, COVID-19. So this video came out February 18th, 2021. It's from BBC Ideas, YouTube channel, which I believe is in association with BBC. What is it? BBC British Broadcasting Channel. Oh yeah. So I'm definitely gonna get a copyright on this. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting a copyright on this. Whatever. But it says how what you eat affects your immune system.
Optimize our immune responses through supplements or superfoods. But is it even possible to how the body responds to disease through an immune boost or by eating blueberries? And what about the people who take it even further? The biohackers experimenting with procedures such as fecal transplant.
It's fun because this starts off talking about fecal transplant.
Taking someone else's poo as a medicine in an attempt to cure a range of ills.
You know the funny thing is, first time I heard about this, watch South Park. Social
The
satire.
immune system is part of an interconnected system running all the way through our body, involving all our tissues, from our skin all the way through to our toes. And in fact, the gut has one of the largest
Your whole fucking
resident
body.
populations of immune cells in our body.
Most of the body's immune cells are found in the lining of the intestine, and the microbes in our gut play a crucial role in keeping those immune cells of our body healthy.
They do that by providing the key chemical signals that they get once they digest the good foods that we eat. So a healthy gut microbiome is absolutely crucial to a healthy immune system.
The immune system is considered to be an organ. But unlike every other organ in your body, it's one where components of the system can migrate around the body. You don't expect that with
the
cells
immune
in
system
your
is your
lungs
body.
or your spleen or any other solid organ. But the beauty of the immune system is it has a property of immunosurveillance.
Immunological surveillance is when the cells of the immune system come together to coordinate a response.
Pay
to an
attention.
external-
Look how complex the human body is, right? Look how the human body is set up to fight off viruses, bacteria, all these different things. So really, if you just focus on your own immune system, you should be good, right? This is not just in theory, this is in practice. This goes through spiritual means as well. Like, if you take care of your body, you should be good. That's part of you being healthy. You don't necessarily need to have a shot. And I'm not against all vaccines, but what I'm saying is, hey, you take care of your body, you should be good, because we keep thinking that we should never get sick. But you already got something there for you if you do get sick, your immune system. So when you do get sick and you have all the symptoms, well, guess what? That's your immune system doing its goddamn job, doing what it's designed to do, to try to fight off anything, any infections, whatever, and get you back to feeling healthy. Sometimes you just gotta let your immune system, what they say, I think when I was a kid, it was like, oh, sometimes you get sick, you just gotta let it run its course. Actually, fucking doctors are telling me that. They still tell you that. Well, hey, I gotta come, yeah, just let it run its course. Oh, wow, I appreciate that. I'm glad your doctorate degree, all the years of school you went to, just to tell me that. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it.
Threats such as disease. For example, your lymph nodes, the glands that swell up when you are sick, are a sign of your immune system at work. We often hear messages encouraging us to boost our immune system. So, could we just take a pill to do that?
When you do meet an infectious threat, our immune response has to react quickly to contain the threat and eradicate it. And you don't want it to stay on, because if it stays on, it's damaging. And that is what happens in allergy and autoimmune disease, which are overreactivity of the immune response. So there is no wonder pill that's going to restore and boost one part of the immune response to
No wonder
help
pill.
us be superpowered.
No wonder
because
shot
it's
either.
also interconnected, and the risks of getting it wrong are really quite dramatic.
So, instead of boosting our immune system, we should focus on supporting it.
Everything that we know already, which is good for our health, will also benefit our immune system. More exercise, taken at regular intervals, has been shown to boost your immune function. That's been
More
shown, and that's
exercise.
published data.
More exercise. Why they come out with this shit a year late? More exercise. More exercise. What's the first thing they did last year? Shut down the gyms. When I say these people are trying to kill us around the world, it's not an exaggeration. It's not some shit I'm just making up. It's not some crazy conspiracy theory. It's not none of that stuff. It's literally what they're trying to do. Kill us, because they shut down gyms. They told you don't go to the gym and don't exercise because you'll get sick if you go there. Although you going there is what boosts your immune system. So you probably should be going there. Right? But once again, you can always work out at home or whatever the case may be. But then they also tell people, oh, what else they did? In some areas, I know in my city, they shut down the parks. Oh, you can't go to this park. Can't go to the gym to exercise, can't go to the park to get some fresh air and walk around, get some sun and run. Literally trying to kill people. Let me see. How do I want people to boost their immune system by, I want people to protect themselves and not get sick by wearing masks, but I don't want them to boost their immune system, which would really help them not get sick, or if they do get sick, be able to fight off wherever virus or bacteria infection, wherever the case may be, by not allowing them to go to gyms and exercise and closing down landmarks in certain parks or whatever so they can't get outside and exercise. So what kind of backwards ass thinking is that, man?
Unfortunately, the modern lifestyle is not very good for our immune system. Our diets of convenience foods and fatty foods that are low in fiber, alongside sedentary lifestyles with little exercise, high stress, and not too much sleep, too much
little
screen
exercise,
time.
high stress, and not enough sleep. What happened this past year? Little exercise, high stress, and not enough sleep. Why you get enough sleep? Because you got a flood of all of a sudden streaming websites and information, videos and media entertainment and stuff like that. So now you're up binge watching TV shows or whatever. You're working from home. Your sleep cycle is not the same. You're stressed because you have high anxiety because you're worried about your financial means because you don't know if you're not gonna be able to go to work or whatever, or if you are working from home, maybe all of a sudden they don't pay you as much because you're working from home or whatever. So now you're stressed, anxiety, hell, you're worried about getting sick because you never really worried about getting sick this much in your life until this past year. So now your anxiety is up, stress levels up, cortisol levels are up and stuff. They're trying to kill us, man. Population control. I don't care. I hope I sound, like I said, I hope I sound crazy. I hope I sound crazy where you make fun of me. because you'll try to disprove what I'm saying. Meanwhile, I'm just playing information from the mainstream media, from the government, and no one pays attention to.
All of these combine to make our immune response not work as it should.
Getting enough sleep and reducing stress can help our immune system operate at an optimal level. And even though one blueberry won't work miracles, getting a variety of the right foods is very important.
To help your immunity, you need to be feeding up your gut microbes. And the best way to do this is to make them more diverse, give them more species. And I recommend 30 different types of plant a week, which gives you all the fiber you should need. Secondly, you should pick plants to eat that are high in polyphenols.
Who the fuck is
These are
eating
the
30 different plants a
chemicals
week?
that are naturally found in plants and are actually rocket fuel for your gut microbes. So things like brightly colored berries, strong flavors like coffee beans, dark chocolate, and even red wine contain polyphenols.
So if what you
that
eat
red
in
wine
your
in.
gut is so important for your immune system, why are some people transplanting other
I don't know why this shit is all over the place. I know the video just keeps stopping on its own.
Transplant is taking a sample of a stool from a normal person and putting
Then
it
it starts talking
someone.
about this whole fecal transplant, which I don't even know.
fascinating area of research?
I don't know why I went into
Definitely
that.
not to be tried at home, says Tim.
I think this is an mustn't believe people who say that it works in everything.
Yeah, I'm not. Ain't no fecal transplant going on over here.
We don't want a powerful immune response because that's what's
All right, the video's all fucking up, man. Whatever. I don't. You know, this hasn't happened that much
Everybody, please welcome Joy McCarthy.
in a while,
Come on
right?
out here.
So this is from CBC, which probably some Canadian. I have no idea what it is. It says, welcome to the official YouTube channel for CBC, Canada's public broadcaster. Oh, okay. So another copyright claim on this one. But this video is, it says 5 foods to keep your immune system strong. And it says the best way to deal with a cold or the flu. And this is from 2014. So it says the best way to deal with a cold or the flu is to make sure you don't catch it in the first place. No shit. Nutritionist Joy McCarthy stopped by to talk about boosting your immune system with certain foods. And it says, no, we're not just talking about vitamin C. I just want to see the comments real quick because I'm here to protect my family from the coronavirus. Stay safe and strong. Oh, I guess this dude, Chris, died. All right. I don't usually write a comment, but I just want to say it. I just couldn't stand how the host kept talking over her and interrupting everything she was trying to say. I just want to see if anybody's talking about COVID in the comments. Well, okay, whatever. So let's check this video out.
Joy? How are you, sweetheart? So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
You're welcome. Come on in here.
Thank you.
Flu season.
Yes, poor Stevens.
He's at home. He gets him.
He's got to eat all these foods.
Absolutely. Well, he gets himself the doozy every time. You know, this is the time of the year.
Talking about nobody cares about that shit.
So you don't end up getting really sick. So of course we always think of vitamin C when we think of boosting the immune system because it helps to boost
Joy McCarthy,
white blood
a holistic
cells, which are
nutritionist.
infection-fighting cells. But that's totally obvious. We always know vitamin C.
Always do that.
Yes.
Okay. So Stephen, if you're watching, take your vitamin C right now.
Okay.
Not just about vitamin C
If
though.
watching, if anybody should be watching.
I really think they kind of oversell the whole vitamin C aspect.
So what I've done is I've put together here some lesser known vitamins and minerals that can help keep our immune system strong so we avoid getting colds and flus and feel joyous all season long.
Feel joyous also. Okay. The first one here you say is vitamin D. We should be taking our vitamin D to help. Now, what is vitamin D doing for us?
Yeah, so vitamin D helps to identify the bad bacteria and the viruses before they take hold of us and make us sick. So it really helps to boost the immune system.
Vitamin D.
But the challenge is that, as you can see here, there are not a lot of options for vitamin D. It's not abundant in foods, really.
We can get it from the sun.
Yes, sunshine vitamin.
Okay, but we don't have...
We can get vitamin D from the sun. Once again, what did they do last year? And in some of the places still around the world. Fuck for y'all. But first thing they do, shut everything down, tell you to stay indoors, be careful about going outside. We don't want you to catch the virus. Guess what? No vitamin D. They literally try to make everybody sick and die. Shut down gyms. Don't tell you don't go outside. Don't get the vitamin D. Have your stress level, anxiety level up. Make you have lack of sleep. A recipe for people to get sick and die. Or at least anything get sick. So now the whole world health is affected. Or some people around the world health is affected, depending on where you live at. That's insane, right? Government, what is it? The World Health Organization, Johns Hopkins, University, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the United Nations, the United States government, your other governments around the world. They don't care about people, man. They really don't. They really don't give a shit, man. Telling you don't go outside so you don't get vitamin D.
Sunshine all year round.
Exactly. And 40 to 70% of people are deficient, especially in Canada
40 to
and North
7%.
America, because the days are shorter. We're not getting as much
Canada
sunshine.
and North America.
Okay.
So, you know, supplementation is a good option, but we also have
Sunshine.
a
And here in
variety
Florida,
of fish,
Sunshine
good source
State.
of vitamin D up to
Let's go through some of them that are really good sources. What do you have
so
here?
Salmon is great. Salmon can be up to 500 IUs of vitamin D.
Okay, wow.
We have eggs.
I wonder if that farm-raised
sardines.
salmon.
Don't knock them till you try them. Do you like sardines?
I love them.
I love sardines
I have them as
too.
snacks. I think I'm the only person in the world.
Yes, but you know what? People are kind of freaked out because they don't look that appetizing.
And they don't smell that great because the whole room now smells like these sardines right this
but
minute.
You know what? Squeeze it with some lemon, some sea salt, have it with a salad, good protein,
I actually
fat.
warm them up on a frying
Worried
pan.
about
I
trying
know
to
I'm
make it
insane,
appeasing
but I
and
know
taste
that.
good.
Get them
Eat
warm.
the shit
nice
to
and
get the nutritional value that you
How
need.
much should you take?
That's
I know
on with the
there's a
rest of your
certain amount
day.
of vitamin D, and then you can kind of go over as well,
Yes,
right?
totally. Well, you know, everyone's different. Depends on your age, what your health history is. So as a bare minimum, at least 1,000 IUs, but you can take a lot more than that. I mean, I'm taking a lot more than 1,000. I actually have pretty adequate levels, but also it helps to prevent the winter blues too, just as a
You don't need a supplement if you eat the food.
What other symptoms of not having a lot of vitamin T in your system?
I mean, it's definitely linked with autoimmune conditions as well, like multiple sclerosis, MS, Crohn's disease as well. We see low vitamin D.
So more autoimmune diseases,
Yes. So
autoimmune
keep your vitamin D
diseases.
levels
So that's
up.
Lack of
Super
vitamin
important.
D.
Okay,
Yes.
good stuff. Write it down.
Write
The
it
next
down.
one here we have is,
Our
this is
carotenoids.
vitamin A.
Yes. So carotenoids are a family of vitamins. So beta-carotene you probably heard of, which is plant-based vitamin A, alpha-carotene, lutein, lycopene, basically all these brightly colored
I even take multivitamins that are organic,
which are really
plant-based organic
multivitamins.
multivitamins.
Yes.
Time to get these.
Absolutely.
These are really
Things
nice
like
time.
kale and our sweet potato.
Okay.
So these really help to boost natural killer cells. And natural killer cells are exactly what you think they are. They actually emit toxins and destroy bad bacteria that can make us sick.
Okay.
And by the way, these are all great sources of vitamin C, which we need more of anyways.
Okay.
So.
Have you heard this shit the past year?
The rainbow.
Yes.
If you're going to put
Go
together
for the
a meal,
rainbow.
make it look like a rainbow.
Eat a
Was
rainbow.
was
That's
Fauci
great
getting on there
advice.
talking about, hey, make sure you guys get some vitamin D, make sure you guys exercise, make sure you get some carotenoids. No, Fauci just said wear a mask
So the next one we're going to talk about is probiotics. I know this is important, but I don't know a lot
Yes.
about them.
for your
So
gut.
70 to 80% of our immune system, like, literally lives in our gut.
Okay.
So the type of bacteria
The
that
thing that you don't pay
consume
attention to.
literally influence the outcome. And so your bacteria greatly influences your immune system. So these are all good sources. So for example, kimchi. Have you had kimchi
I
before?
love it
had
personally.
kimchi.
Anybody tried kimchi by applause? Yes?
Yeah, so good.
Good.
I love it with scrambled
Whatever.
eggs. With eggs.
Scrambled
Yeah,
eggs?
so it's
Wow.
fermented cabbage and carrots. It's spicy. It has things like
I
ginger.
go right out of the
I
jar.
think I was in Korea when I
love
had it.
And it's literally like a prebiotic too, so that's also important.
Explain
is
the
that,
difference there.
So the prebiotic feeds the good bacteria, so you want to have a balance of both, and fermented foods do that. We also have miso paste,
Yep.
tempeh, kefir. Not everyone knows what kefir
This is awesome. I take it like milk form. It's almost like a milk. I drink
exactly.
it.
So that's a great idea to put in your smoothie
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Really, really high in good bacteria and all
Yeah,
food
pay attention to
sources.
that.
I mean, of course, you can take a supplement.
Yogurt,
but I
though,
always
is
say
good,
food
too.
first with everything,
And then-
and then
say.
supplements
Add a little
are secondary.
Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, and zinc. This is not something I hear
Well, I shouldn't say,
about
but it's yogurt's
men
on the table
especially,
for
But
probiotics.
I don't know about it as
Yes. Yeah, zinc for men is
helping
important.
kill the cold virus.
Yeah, so zinc
why?
keeps the immune system really strong.
Zinc.
It actually influences your immune cell function. So it
Okay.
affects
Well, this past
your
year,
cells,
once again,
literally,
was
your immune
Fauci
system.
sitting there talking about zinc? Was anybody talking about take a lot of vitamin D and zinc outside of your non-mainstream doctors or that who are hallucinogenic, holistic, like she said, like she is holistic nutritionist, which I don't even understand how like holistic is, like natural. Imagine thinking that human beings are more clever than the the planet and environment that's been around for millions of years before us. I guess billions of years rather, really.
Cells. So we have a variety of zinc-rich foods.
Yeah.
Mushrooms are wonderful.
All the things I love.
And spinach, great
Yeah.
source of vitamin C, plus our carotenoids. So
And
you can
plus
see there's
zinc.
some crossover.
So and now with the zinc, can you take too much? Because I know
Yes,
you can.
So I'm glad you brought that up because there are certain minerals that I don't recommend that you supplement unless you've been advised by a healthcare practitioner.
Got it.
Exactly how much you should
So
take.
you can go
Be
in and get a
advised.
zinc
How about
test
you
to see if
advise
your zinc
yourself?
is too high or
Yeah,
too
Pay
I
attention
low?
to your own
recommend
levels.
Eating a wide variety of foods,
Okay.
and then that's when a multivitamin can come into effect. That's
Right.
a great option.
But don't
to get
take a
little-
zinc by itself unless you're told by a practitioner.
Exactly, because
Okay.
it
Even with the
can offset
multivitamins,
other
if your
minerals as
diet
well,
is great,
you don't want to
you
mess
should- you
around with
shouldn't
your
need 'em,
body's
but
chemistry.
So
which
I take 'em
is
just in
high
case.
Who knows what they're doing first.
Exactly, and
Okay.
eat a wide variety of foods,
Got it,
and take a
okay.
multi is a great
And
option
the red meat
too.
as well. I think
Yes,
that's great.
yeah, that's
because
a good source of zinc too.
So red
Perfect.
meat,
Okay.
zinc.
Eat meat.
So let's go on to the selenium.
Even though the meat is probably fucked up with some type of chemicals as well.
So the selenium, what is this doing
No,
for
she didn't
us?
say nothing
So,
organic.
similar to the carotenoids, this helps to boost natural killer cells,
Okay.
and it also really helps to mobilize cancer-fighting cells.
Okay.
So these are some selenium-rich foods, and you can again see how there's crossover of other nutrients here.
Right,
the
so
fuck
when,
just
when
happened?
we're eating that for the vitamin D over
Vitamin
there,
D,
we're actually
yeah.
getting some selenium in it as
Exactly.
well. So think
oats.
that way. Oats.
So
Okay,
having
well,
oats, you
it
know, at
left the high
breakfast,
definition
making a
quality.
nice porridge or making your own granola.
I'm seeing garlic.
is wonderful.
I eat it raw.
That's the best way to have it.
Okay, I
it's
do.
nature's antibiotic, as
No
I
one
like
wants
to
to kiss
call
me,
it.
but that's good. I've been with Stephen for 26 years. What do you, who cares? You
I know,
what
I
I'm
ate a
saying?
lot of garlic
Yeah.
last night too. I was
I
a
can
little
totally
worried.
smell it, but I'm cool with that. No, I can't. I'm kidding you. I'm totally kidding with you.
Why would
okay, this is
I
stupid.
wouldn't be able to tell because I eat it every day, so we're
okay, good.
probably
It's
just
so
killing
good for
everybody
you.
here.
But raw, that's the key,
Yeah,
right?
I chop it up, I let it sit for 10 minutes, and then I eat it.
So
I'm
we've got
not
a
eating
nice
no
tea
raw
here
garlic,
with
yeah.
lemon. So lemon's a good source of
Hell
vitamin
no.
C, very detoxifying as well.
Yeah.
We're going to put some raw raw honey in as well.
Why the honey?
But I do put
honey
garlic
is so
in food.
immune boosting.
Okay.
It is fantastic.
Honey is great.
It really, really helps to prepare the immune system and prevent. But this is if you actually get a bad cold or you've got a sore throat. Honey is so soothing.
Okay.
So
I give my kids a mixture of honey,
so
eat all of this,
turmeric,
have a drink of
and
this,
apple
and you
cider
should be
vinegar.
fine.
Because really what it comes down to, man, is paying attention to the quality of your food, as well as paying attention to the vitamin D, the zinc, all the things you just said, and having it in your food. Spices, like I said, turmeric, some of those things help. They're not just there to make your food taste good. So if you focus more on, if you focus more on your food being rather nutritional based and having good substances and good quality and not necessarily the taste, that's to be honest, this makes the most sense. You should be buying your food based on its nutritional value and based on your diet and your family's diet, or whoever else around you in your household, getting the right minerals, multivitamins, all the things that your body needs first. And it's something I've been trying to get into, and it is a process, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's a process because you've been, especially like myself, some of us have been used to eating like fast food. I mean, I fucking worked at McDonald's when I was 16. I think I worked there for like 2 years, over 2 years, something like that. I don't know, whatever, a year and a half. Ate that shit every day, every time I was at work. And I was, until the point I was like, I'm pretty sure this is horrible, man. I'm pretty sure this food is horrible. And that was before they even that documentary Supersize Me. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is bad. And then after I left McDonald's, I stopped eating it. I rarely get McDonald's. Now I think about it, I really don't even understand the last time I had it. Like I said, there's still nothing wrong with moderation. Every now and then go out there and get McDonald's, something like that. But my kids knows it too. Like when we eat certain fast food now, stomach hurts. Everybody gotta go run to the bathroom afterwards. Everybody gotta take a shit. My daughter's like, I just say that fast food's not organic. Oh, my stomach hurts. Like, that's what it is, man. Because your body's not used to eating that stuff. And it kind of lets you know, like, hey, what are you consuming, bro? Because you're supposed to have regular bowel movement. You're supposed to take a shit once a day, at least. But a lot of us don't have high fiber rich foods or diets. And you got to pay a lot of attention to your gut, man. And it seems like it's hard, but it's really not. It's a convenience of us not having to worry about anything because we just want to eat. But we're not eating to survive. We're not eating for the nutritional value. So you got to change your perspective or your mindset rather on what do you value in your food? Do you care about it looking good and tasting good? Or do you care about it doing the things it's supposed to do, providing you substance and giving you nutritional value so you can be a healthy individual? And it's really sad, man, because that should be the only purpose of the food, and that should be our only mindset when we consume our food. The nutritional value, does it provide quality substance, and does it benefit, does it have health benefits to our life, to our own personal individual immune system? Does it help us? Not does it look good, not does it taste good, not how long will this shit expire. I hope it doesn't expire for a year. No, man, eat the food. I try to keep groceries in my house at a minimum, because if I'm buying the organic stuff, I'm buying things that will perish, within a couple of weeks, then that means I should have enough. To me, I try to have enough food supply for at least a month, right? We eat up all the food a month and then try to go back to the grocery store. But kids will eat certain things. I'm like, hey, you guys just focus on certain things. I need you to eat the rest of the shit. Like, like, just eat the same thing over and over. And then when I see that it's eating too much of the same thing over and over, I don't buy it. I force them to eat something else. Because that lets me know that they're just, one, they're not paying attention to eating stuff because they're hungry. They're trying to make sure they do that stuff. But at the same time, they're kids. Of course they're not going to do that. They're not worried about that. But you got to get them on that mindset, because especially in American culture, as far as our fast food is everywhere, man. It's literally a fucking McDonald's almost on every corner, right? I think within a 1 mile radius of me, I think there's 3 McDonald's. Like, that's crazy, man. I I live not even that far from like a Buffalo Wild Wings, a Chili's, a Applebee's, a Steak and Shake, a McDonald's, a Chick-fil-A, I think a Outback. Now they're building an Arby's near. Like, come on, bro. That's 8 different fucking restaurants, fast food restaurants. A KFC, like that's insane, man. And yet there's one grocery store. There's one Publix grocery store, and then I think there's a Aldi's further down the street, and there's a Chamberlain's, which is like a Whole Foods or a natural organic food place. I went in there one time and I couldn't even handle it. 'Cause I was like, oh my God, there's so much stuff in here. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I got overwhelmed. I was just looking for one specific thing, but it was just so much choices and options. But it was also a lot of like, oh my God, what the fuck am I eating? This whole store got everything's natural, everything's organic, stuff like that. And so luckily, or not luckily, I'm glad Publix has been incorporating their own, or they bought Greenwise or whatever the case may be, and they've been incorporating their own food with Greenwise products, organic stuff like that. So I've been just buying their stuff. And does it cost a little bit more? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. But to be honest with you, I think I still spend about the same. I still spend about the same amount of money. It's you really gotta pay attention, man. And like I said, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard, and that's a sad reality of the situation, because what we're talking about is first world problems, right? Imagine having such an abundance of food all around you that you got all these different choices and you're trying to find which is the most healthiest one, because you've been programmed to eat not the most healthiest, you've been programmed to eat the most convenient, the most affordable, and the most tasting, as opposed to really you're only supposed to eat food for health benefits, period. That includes survival. Gotta change our perspectives, man. We gotta change our reality. We gotta focus on the things that mean something, right? You really gotta look at our values around the world and pay attention to just the simple things as what do we eat? Everybody's worried about getting sick from COVID-19 or whatever the case may be, but how many people are actually worried about focusing on their health, focusing on their diet? And I'm not talking about, wearing a mask or PPE or anything like that, but actual paying attention to your real immune system, your gut, because that's your first line of defense. Hell, you could say it probably is your only line of defense, is your immune system. And just like the video was talking about, it covers your whole fucking body. So you should pay attention to it all. When you go exercise, it boosts your immune system, because when you have the microfiber tears, or when you have the micro tears in your fibers, your muscle fiber, as far as you working out and stuff, your body, your immune system is activated. So that boosts your immune system. That makes it stronger, because your immune system is getting used to, I want to say fighting off something, but doing something in the sense of fixing or creating new fiber when those muscle fibers are broken apart, and creating new fibers, making it stronger and stuff like that. You gotta pay attention, man. You gotta pay attention, man. You really do. And that's something I have, as I'm saying that, I'm really saying it to myself. I gotta remind myself, because every now and then I'm like, I look at something like, you know what? I don't think we should be eating this. Why have I been doing this? You know what? It's time for a change. And it might, let's say, we've been doing this your whole life, so it's not gonna happen overnight. It takes commitment. It takes time. It takes patience. And that's really the big issue for a lot of things and for a lot of people. But if you focus on it, you will achieve it. Just gotta believe that you can do it. There you go. That's my motivational speech for the day. As always, check out our live stream Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I send out notifications on my Gab, my Twitter, my Minds account. I forget I have a Minds account, and I think I forget I have a Minds account. If you're on Minds, I'm on there. In my website, blog site, Damien, Damien, Jackson22.com. Check that out. I have the links to my social media accounts, YouTube, Odyssey channels, and I have different links to different ways you can listen to the podcast, Spotify, Apple, and whatever else is on there. Definitely check it out. Check out the past version of the podcast. If you want to support the podcast and the content that I create, go to underdogproductstore.com. Buy a shirt, something like that, a coffee mug, whatever, if you choose to. If not, I'm okay with that as well. To each their own. Enjoy time with family and friends. Enjoy your day. All that positivity, all that good shit I'm supposed to say. So until next time.